everybody, and welcome to today's journal author interview. I'm Don Finn. I serve as the editor of the COABE Journal, and I'm also the past president of the board. The journal that we're focusing in on is Lessons from the Pandemic, and we have many great contributions. And we're here talking with two of the authors of one of the pieces, which is called Expanding Technology Use in Correctional Education and Response to the COVID-19 Pandemic. And so I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, and then we'll go ahead and ask a few questions. So please.
Thanks, Don. Hi, my name is Laura Rasmussen Foster. I'm a senior research analyst with RTI International, where I focus on adult education, career and technical education, and correctional and reentry education.
And hello, I'm Michelle Tolbert, and I'm also a senior research analyst with RTI International. And I've been researching education in prisons for about the last 20 years.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to have both of you here, Laura and Michelle. And so, I'll just start off with a general question related to your article. And what I found interesting about it, and I think our readers will, is you cover many topics as it relates to correctional settings and different technologies and opportunities for the learners and for the teachers. And so, ultimately, let me ask you, why did you write this particular article for the COABE Journal?
It's a good question. Well, when we saw the journal's focus on the pandemic, we immediately thought about how technology really helped correctional education programs continue during the pandemic, where prisons and jails were otherwise on lockdown. So with technology, education programs were still being brought into the correction system. And so we thought it was just a really important topic and one to think about in terms of pandemic recovery, because now we've seen what's possible in terms of providing access to and the use of education technology to enhance in-person instruction. And we think it's really important to share these examples of how it's being integrated thoughtfully, safely, and effectively to meet students' needs. And we think that's really important, that it's student-centered.
Yes, thanks for sharing that. And I will say that you did a great job of really breaking it down and segmenting the article to guide the reader through to really gain an understanding of the importance of the media, the different types of medias, and the impact on the learners and the benefits for the learners as well. So what do you hope that adult education practitioners, how might they benefit from reading the article, and in turn, how might that benefit their learners?
Well, ultimately, this is a conversation about equity, that correctional education participants need exposure to and experience using the same technology that we use on the outside. It is a very, very crucial part of reentry. So, everyone needs to be able to navigate technology for work, education, and life. So we hope that, that this equity conversation comes clear. But we also, in the article describe instructional strategies, innovative examples, the different types of programmatic supports that are needed to really access and use technology well. And so we really hope that this information will help instructors understand the different ways that they can use technology, know what supports are available to them so that they can in turn prepare their students for reentry.
So what I found interesting about the article, although you're focusing on correctional education, is there's a tremendous amount of really beneficial information, I think, in talking about issues such as digital equity, talking about the skills development for folks to integrate into the workplace and so on, which I thought was really well done, and I think could apply across various venues and various settings. So I really appreciate the fact that you did that. And I think just that, in some sense, it's a very general useful article for practitioners regardless of setting. And so, somewhat related, but what do you hope the readers specifically will take away from reading your article?
Well, we really hope that readers understand that technology decisions should be driven by student learning needs. We know that there are other considerations and other factors that come into play in the corrections environment. Things like security are going to be very, very important, but ultimately we want technology decisions to really align with the needs of students and the learning goals. So that's what we do in the article. We describe a student-centered approach to technology, but we also acknowledge there's no one size fits all. So This may mean that within a correctional facility that there are different technology devices being used for different purposes and in different ways, because we know that learners have very different learning needs, and that really is what should be driving it. And
Definitely individualizing instruction and trying to target those needs of the learners is huge, and definitely well stated through the article. And I think that as you talked about the partnerships in developing technological competence, the selection of technology to suit the learners and so on, but also professional development. I think that's critical, that the instructors and the administrators have an understanding of professional development. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Well, I think, yes, we agree. And that there's actually kind of multiple professional development needs. You want to make sure that instructors are familiar with and comfortable with the technology themselves, and also understand strategies for integrating technology into the classroom. We really are focused on models of using technology to enhance in-person instruction. So how do you use technology then to complement and supplement what you're already doing in the classroom?
Yeah, and I think you did an excellent job of that. And I just wanted to make sure that we highlighted that in this discussion. So beyond that, I'm wondering, do you have any additional comments that either of you would like to share?
Well, I can add, we just hope that we've seen a lot of momentum in the pandemic. And so we really hope that this momentum continues to grow now that we know what's possible in terms of the use of technology, that we'll see expanded use of technology within correctional facilities, and that we're really going to kind of shift our conversation from access to expand to both access and use. So now that we have technology in correctional facilities, how do we make sure we're using it well and in accordance with students' learning needs?
Excellent. And hence the title, Expanding Technology Use in Correctional Education in Response to the COVID-19 Pandemic. So Laura, Michelle, thanks to you, thanks to your colleagues for submitting this very useful, well-written article for the COABE Journal. And if you'd like to take a look at the COABE Journal, go to the COABE website at coabe.org. You can click on the journal link there, and you can see our current edition as well as our archived editions. So thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you well.